This is like the one time a week that I like put on makeup. So
Yeah.
I hope that the people that are watching appreciate.
Yes. Sunday is like, I get to look pretty day.
Yeah. All right, guys. So for this episode, so much to learn about. It'll make you want to shout. It'll just make you want to shout. Very loud all the time. We gotta talk
Turn
about
it
Blippi.
off.
Yeah, we gotta talk about Blippi. Seriously. Lily is obsessed with this man. We have watched, like, I think since the episodes are so short, there's 3 seasons, but you can watch like all 3 seasons in a day.
Oh wow.
So like we do that every day. But like she isn't always like watching it, but she needs it to be on. So like even when she's like in her nursery playing, like there's like Blippi still teaching me about like colors and stuff.
His little voice is just there keeping you
Like
company.
like all this. Okay. So first, I mean, I do appreciate how educational the videos are. Like, I love that he adds like different elements. Like he, let's count. He counts things as he's showing them, and he adds other stuff. So like, they're not just learning what the thing is; they're learning what color it is. They're learning how to count things. It's just I don't know why he uses that voice.
I know it's a high pitched. I don't know. It's almost like he's trying to sound like a little boy.
Yeah,
kind of.
but like kids don't, I mean, I've never met a little boy that talks like that, so I'm just like, what are you trying to do? Like, just you can talk in your normal voice. I mean, I talked to Lily and it just didn't, like, this is how I talk to her.
Yeah, normal voice. I mean, like if someone shows me a puppy, my pitch goes up significantly. I can't help it. but when I'm teaching kids, I try to keep it at a pretty normal level.
Yeah.
I had someone tell me, like, my first few years teaching, I had a quote unquote baby voice. And I was like, oh no, I cannot do that. So I made sure to be very conscious of what my voice was doing, because they're not babies, they're little people, and if you talk to them like babies, then they're going to talk like babies. So
yeah, you don't have to talk like that, but I like what he's doing. I like that it keeps the kids engaged. I mean, there have been days, I mean, what I've been dealing with, there have been days where like Blippi like parents my child for me, because some days you just can't. Some days you're just having a rough day and you just need your child to just pull up on the couch and just
watch something, just be
still. And then you feel bad about it because mom guilt is a real terrible thing, but that day you needed to have some mental break time. So Blippi's great for like mental breaks. Like if I'm just like, all right, then I'll put on Blippi. She's obsessed though. Like it's the only thing she wants to watch. So I think like Lily goes through phases. So like she was obsessed with Puppy Dog Pals. Like that is all she wanted to watch all the time for like a few months. And then it was Paw Patrol. Yeah. Now it's a Blippi. So I think like probably in another month she'll be onto something else. But I'm like,
she'll cycle onto a new show. Yeah. And then you'll be all excited and then you'll get sick of it. And then she'll cycle to another one.
I think she gets that from her dad. So Paul loves Mad Men.
Oh, I watched the first season. Yeah, I've seen the first season. I love the fashion in Mad Men.
I love that part, and that's what he loves too. But like, so Paul is obsessed with New York. Like he's obsessed with New York City. He knows everything about New York. Like seriously, like quiz him. Like he's like the top knower of all things New York. So he loves Mad Men because of that, but also like it's a good show. But he is like obsessed to the point where like it's just he will go on like these month-long, like that's all he watches. Everything he talks about, he relates it to Mad Men. Like they're, so I think Lily gets that from him, her like obsessions with things. Like she'll get really into something. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. But like Mad Men, I can't even have it playing in the background anymore. But yeah, so that's kind of how I've been feeling with Blippi. Like I'm like, is there something else? Like,
Yeah. I was reading some article, I can't remember what it was, probably something to do with education, and they're like, oh yeah, Blippi is like the Mr. Rogers of YouTube. And I was like, I see what you're trying to say, but no, because I'm a huge Mr. Rogers fan.
Yeah, me too.
No, he's very entertaining. Kids love him. But Mr. Rogers, of course, didn't talk in a baby voice. He talked in his normal voice.
Yeah.
And it wasn't okay. Maybe some of the puppets were annoying. I'll give him that in Mr. Rogers' neighborhood. But I was like, no, these are not on the same playing field. Different. This is apples and oranges here. Yeah. And I was so like a tiny bit offended.
So there's something to be said. I mean, okay, so that kind of reminds me of Blue's Clues. So the original Blue's Clues, it was just a dude. Like, he was just a normal guy. He didn't use any voices. He didn't like sing and dance. He just was a guy with a puppy named Blue, and they like solved stuff, right? And they found clues and stuff, and like it was so awesome. But then Blue's Clues and You, which is also good, but I feel like they went to Broadway and they grabbed like the best dancer and the best singer and whatever, and so he like does like jazz hands and he's like singing and whatever. But I'm like, you don't need all of that.
No, Blue's Clues can be simple
on its own was a simple, wonderful thing, right? And so I feel like, you know, Blippi, like he's adding the voice and he like adds all. I'm like, I mean, you can just talk normal and it'll be just as good and just as educational and just as engaging for the kids, because you're doing things and then the kids like, oh man, I want to do that, right? Also, just side note, it's really funny. So Lily sometimes will tell me what episode she wants to watch, and she'll be like, she'll say like Playhouse in Washington. Like sometimes she'll even say the city in Washington. I'm like, damn, like
isn't it funny what words they pick up? So like, I won't say the name of the school just for privacy reasons and whatever, but we had a special day at our school where the kids could come in wearing like, we called it field trip attire. So they don't have to like wear their uniforms. They can wear like, it can be like a dress down day, like as a little treat. And the rule was you could wear your jeans or whatever, as long as you had like a school shirt on, like, because we have like hoodies and kinds of stuff. And so Clara came home and she's like, we're allowed to wear jeans as long as we're wearing, insert school name here, merchandise on our shirt. And it was just funny that this first grader is telling me about blah, blah, blah merchandise and make sure that we have the logo and it's from our school. So cute. Let's pick that word out.
Yeah, it's funny. Toddlers are funny. Like they just pick up a bunch of stuff and then they repeat it. Lily's, she repeats like everything, and sometimes it's not good, but most of the time it is good.
Okay, I haven't seen as much as I think you have. I've seen enough, which you don't have to watch a lot to see enough.
I told her grandparents about like she watches Blippi, and I was like, but don't look it up.
Yeah, so I pulled up a video he had for like, he was like showing what the inside of a police car looked like. I used that for one of my lessons. I'm like, okay, that's kind of cool. And I think there was like one other one I pulled up. It was probably like his fireman one. I was like, okay, this is cool. It's the inside of a firehouse. Like, we'll watch that. But then it struck me as odd, and maybe you'll know more. Maybe it's just a mystery. But when he was showing the inside of the police car, he's like, these are the lights, and here's the wheel, and here's the door, and blah, blah, blah. And he got in the back, and he's like, yeah, in the back seat, they don't have seatbelts because you're handcuffed and they don't care if you go flying. And then he was like, ooh, I don't like it back here. And he got out like really fast. And I was like, have you been in the back of a police car before?
Oh my God, that's so funny.
That's so the only thing.
I don't actually know, but that's really telling, Blippi. Like, have you been in the back of a cop car one too many times?
No, because like I love reading body language. I'm by no means an expert, but I enjoy watching experts and having them explain things. And I'm like, I'm picking up on something here, Blippi. What's going on?
Yeah, let me know. But that actually brings me right into our next segment. So when we come back, I have some Blippi facts that you might not have known about. Be right back. Okay, well, welcome back. And now I'm going to share some Blippi facts with you that you might not have known. So let's get into it.
And you might not want your kids listening to this episode. So just because there's Blippi, like if we're on in the car right now, Mom, turn it down. Because there's some things that we're going to talk about that maybe
I found some stuff out about this fellow. But we'll save that for the end of the segment. His name is Stephen John, spelled Stevin, which I've never seen before, so I don't know why it's spelled that way. But all right, his name's Stephen John. His middle name starts with a W, but I don't know what his middle name is. So anyway, he was born on May 27th, 1988, which is almost exactly a year before my husband. So my husband was born on May 15th and he was on May 27th, but the year before. So Blippi started in 2014. And there's merchandise. He's got toys and even shoes, CDs, DVDs. There's even a musical. I don't know if you guys knew this. I didn't know it. I was like, whoa, really? Blippi the musical? I don't know if what would the story be? Because his videos are just visiting places. Do you know?
He's probably just running around. I don't know. It's probably like a Blue's Clues type of thing where they want the audience to interact with him. It's probably something like that. Honestly, I feel like sometimes this is all just like a big old cash grab, you know, like they come out with like the toys and the shoes and the socks and the cereal and, you know, and it's like, just stick his face on something and we'll sell it. And I'm like, what happened to like taking our time and making sure that something was like really good, you know, because there's some really good Broadways that took years and years to develop. And whereas this one, they're just cranking
this
it
one
out.
definitely didn't need to be made. I don't think it's not. I mean, you can have like Blippi live or like he can do like live performances, but no, he doesn't need a whole musical. But anyway, I mean, I don't know. I like the guy sometimes, but I've seen his face too many times. Like at this point, I'm just like, I need less of you. But anyway, so he's in the musical. So that I read something, he's in the musical. He doesn't play himself. He doesn't play Blippi, but he does something else, or maybe he just isn't in it at all. I don't know. But there's another dude that plays Blippi in the musical, and that guy's also done some of his videos, I think. So his stats. So apparently he's got over 1.1 million subscribers on YouTube.
Wow.
And he has his net worth. So I read, I'm not entirely sure, but as of like today, I think it's like 40 million.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. Like, what is this guy doing? How can I also do it and also have 40 million in the bank? Because the things I could do with $40 million, that sounds so good.
See, YouTube is one of those places where if you get the formula right and you get enough kids, like it starts to snowball to who like watch your videos. Like they had those unboxing videos where all it was just a camera of like some girl's hand just like opening toys.
Yeah.
And she just like went crazy viral with kids and like she made all this money. So like if you know how to engage kids, YouTube can be a huge money maker.
Yeah, for sure. I have videos on YouTube, but like I mean they don't have. I actually have. So I did one unboxing video. So I got I did some like product for Instagram posts with like Love Every, and I got 2 Love Every kits for Lily when she was younger, and I did an unboxing video for one of them, and it actually has like 60 views. Which I was surprised actually, because I didn't like see that until recently, and I was like, oh wow, like, but I mean, usually my videos get like 13 views.
Yeah,
so it's like, oh, 60, look at me.
And like a few of them were like you just like watching it to make sure it like uploaded correctly.
Yeah, like I'm not a professional YouTuber by any means, but Blippi certainly is, and he's got like a ton of money, and I want some of it. Anyway, and then some miscellaneous facts. Apparently he got engaged in 2021.
Yes. If you go on his Instagram, you can see her. She's cute.
Yeah, I haven't seen a picture of her actually. I didn't look at his Instagram yet.
See if I can hold it up to the camera. She's cute. Can you see that? No, you can't.
No. Oh, kind of.
Oh my word.
Oh, she's cute. Yeah.
And they're having a baby.
They are.
They're having a baby, which is very exciting. I don't know when, but it's happening. So that's kind of fun.
Is his name gonna be Blippi?
I hope not.
I hope it's something normal.
Also, like on his Instagram, like maybe I'm just a crazy person, but I don't recognize him without his big glasses and hat. Like he has like normal pictures of himself.
He looks
just like
kind of, I don't know, he looks a little like I saw a picture of him, he's wearing like a flat cap.
Yeah, like
he had like a hoodie on, and I was like, this is a very different persona than the one that
regular. Like I like if I saw him in the store, I wouldn't recognize him. And all it is glasses and a hat, which makes me think that's how Superman was able to stay incognito for so long, because the glasses really do change your face.
Well, I mean, they make your eyes look bigger. I mean, I guess, right? Yeah. So, you know. Anyway, I had glasses for like a really long time. So, but I don't anymore because I finally got the surgery I needed to realign my eyes, and then turns out I have 20/20 vision, which anyway, that's a totally different tangent that we don't have to go on. Anyway, so I got interested. So this is all like the Blippi stuff, but I was interested in like, what did he do before YouTube? So he actually served in the Air Force. I don't know if you knew this, Brittany, but he was a loadmaster for the C-17 Globemaster with the 4th Nuclear Airlift Squadron in the Air Force.
So he put stuff on the plane?
Yes.
Okay.
But he was only in service for 2 years. And then he realized that the military just wasn't for him. And he actually wanted to work in the digital space. So afterward, in 2009, he started working as a video editor and marketing consultant, which is actually really useful for his YouTube career. He like learned how to do all the stuff. So I thought that was interesting because you always hear about people that join the military and they're just in the military. So it was interesting that he's like had like a military life and a, citizen life. I don't know. That was interesting. So now we're getting into like the darker side of Blippi, I guess.
It's icky. It's just icky.
Yeah, so before he was Blippi, he had another YouTube persona named Steezy Grossman, and he would do gross out comedy videos. And one video in particular, which the internet never forgets, was he apparently he pooped on his friend.
Like on camera? Because I've never seen this. It was on camera. Did he do this? How does that even get uploaded? Like, I don't even understand. Like, I know YouTube has come far from what it started as, but like, how did that not get like someone on like in YouTube world was like, going through the videos and thought, this shouldn't be here. Like, how did that not get caught right away?
I don't know. But so it was later taken down, and Blippi says now that he like regrets doing it, which obviously, of course you do. Like, who wouldn't? That's gross. But anyway, so he tried gross out comedy because he thought that kids might find that funny, but like he went a little too far. I don't know why I don't know, but like the internet still has, apparently there's like a copy of it somewhere. I didn't watch it, but like I kind of clicked on the link and I was just listening to it, and like you could hear his friend gagging and stuff, and so I like immediately like exited out. But I was like, dude, why? Like, why would you do this?
Yeah, like I know that we're still kind of like new-ish to like what all the internet can be. Like, honestly, the internet has not been around that long, but one thing that like we really need to ingrain in our kids is like the internet is forever. Like, even though you can pay thousands of dollars to get something taken off the internet, if someone's already downloaded that on their computer, they have it.
I mean, there's websites, there's the dark web there. I mean, there's way, I mean, they have flipping 4chan on the internet, right? Like, don't go to 4chan, by the way. I think a really long time ago I was very curious, and then I was immediately like, oh, I shouldn't have done this.
yeah It's like, because like when we were kids we probably did dumb stuff, but it didn't end up like where the whole world could see it, like just like our little inner circles. And it was embarrassing. We're like, oh, like you remember that one time like I'll be in bed and I am like just about to fall asleep, and I remember that one time I said something weird at a party, and
oh my god, I do that all the time.
Yeah.
And then you're like, you want to like slither out of your skin. Yeah.
I want to like write the person, be like, I'm so sorry I said this weird thing, but they like don't even remember my name. But when it's on the internet, not only do we do stupid things and then we live to regret it, but like billions and billions of people can access that and can see it. So just be very careful with what you put on the internet.
Yeah. I mean, that reminds me of that episode we did with Ashley, you know, where we talked about like, you know, being safe on the internet and stuff. I mean, that goes for like, if you're just doing something dumb because you think it's funny in the moment, right? And you're probably not going to think it's very funny the next day, sometimes even, but it's there and it'll always be there. So just, I guess, before you make content, I guess, like plan it and don't just like on a whim be like, oh, it'd be so funny if I pooped on my friend. But anyway, yeah.
Also, I want to know who this friend is and what do they think about it after all this time?
Like I'm thinking they had to have not known.
Oh, like
who would ever agree to that?
I don't know why it grosses me out because I have dealt with so much poop in my life, like working in daycares and then my own kids.
But he's still like assaulting somebody with it. Like it's different, right?
Just
anyway, so sorry if you didn't want to know that, but I know it now, unfortunately. So you do too.
You can't unknow it. But I do appreciate, and maybe he just did it because he was trying to save face or whatever. He did apologize. He did pay a bunch of money to get them taken down, but it's still somewhere. It's somewhere out there.
There's a website. I found the website.
Whether or not it was like a truthful, like, oh my word, I'm so sorry, I should have never done that, or if he was just saying that because, oh, I'm Blippi now and I'm worth 44 million or whatever. Yeah. Just take this as a cautionary tale. Be careful what you post on the internet.
Yeah. Man, I'm still reeling about that 40 million. Like, ain't that some poop? Like
I wouldn't even know what to do, like, with myself. Like, and okay, I've seen this where people will do tours of mansions and these people have like these huge house with like
cribs, like MTV cribs.
Yeah, well, like it's I don't know what it was. And I'm like, they have this giant ceilings and they have like rooms just to watch TV and rooms just to make coffee. Like, but then they're like, yeah, we don't actually hang out in here. We actually hang out in this little room, and it's like the size of like my living room. And I'm like, well, then what's the point of having?
Also, property taxes.
Yeah,
like property taxes must be like through the roof for a place like that. Like, why would you ever want to? Anyway,
like have a nice house, but it doesn't need to be the size of a mall.
I live in a mall. Like, oh man. I mean, when I was a kid, like I probably thought it would be cool to live in a mall, but like now I'm like, you don't need all that space. Like it's
a lot of,
especially if it's like just one celebrity like living by themselves. Like you don't need that.
I find it funny when basketball players will have like a basketball court in their house. And I'm like, yeah, but aren't you like tired? Like too? Because I mean, I love teaching. I love it, but I don't have a classroom in my house.
You don't?
Like, I mean, kids think I live there sometimes. I'm like, no, I don't live here. But
oh, another fact about Blippi is that his like most famous video is Blippi learns about jungle animals.
So that's his most,
yeah, that's
wait, does he have a show?
Yeah, so Netflix, he's on Netflix now. It's like Blippi's Adventures or The Adventures of Blippi or something.
I want to find Blippi's first video ever. Okay, let's take a commercial break. I'm going to look for if I can find it, his first video ever, and we'll be right back. So stick around. Okay, well, welcome back. And we're wrapping up our show about Blippi. During the break, while you're listening to our commercials, I I was looking up the YouTube channel. Blippi's got like 3 YouTube channels or something. Like it's not just.
I think so, yeah. Oh, and also another fact, sorry, before I forget, he does different languages too. So there's like Spanish and there's Arabic too, which I thought was interesting because you don't usually see that.
Yeah.
And then I think Mandarin, and then there's a fourth one, but I don't remember. But anyway, but there's not one in French, which sucks because one day Lily literally asked me, I want Blippi in French. She actually said Blippi en français, and I was like, oh, oh my God, okay. But then
Blippi, how would they say it? Blippi? They have a little. But yeah, so I looked up. I don't think you can find his first video ever that he made because he did this in 2014, and the latest one I could find was 8 years ago. And he's not even in it. It's just like him.
Dang, what year is it? Sorry.
We're like 20. It's 2022. So okay.
So 2014 is.
Brittany doesn't know math.
I like how neither of us are good at math. It's perfect though. Like I'm like, we're very alike in a lot of ways.
But yeah, so his first few videos, from what I could find, he's not even in it. He obviously had to record this and like edit it and whatever, but it's like a tractor going through a field, which is cool. I mean, like I guess I could pull that up for a lesson in kindergarten sometime.
Yeah.
I'm not sure when he starts to be in the videos because he's in all the thumbnails. So what I think he did was he started. There's a kitty. Hi, kitty. Oh, you see, my voice goes up the second there's an animal around. Can't help it.
I forgot Noodle was in here, and so like
her name's Noodle.
Yes, her name is Noodle.
Oh,
my husband named her.
So cute. I love how cats don't care. They're like, I'm just gonna walk.
Yeah, like I'm just gonna put my butt right in front. All right.
I love it.
Can you leave, please, right now? Whoa.
Oh, anyway, so I think what he did was he must have recorded a bunch of things to like show kids, like bulldozers and airplanes and whatever. And then once he started getting famous, he because you can edit your thumbnail years later. I think he just stuck his face in all the thumbnails so people would click on it.
Yeah.
But if he's not in it, I don't know why you'd want people to click on it. But there's like a girl version of Blippi. So I guess
Blippi
on his Treehouse show, he has like a co-host, I think. Oh. I don't know. I think he has a co-host, but this is totally different. So this girl, her name is, well, her like YouTube name is Mopsy, and she entertains and educates children.
I've never heard of Mopsy before in my life, but I will find her on YouTube and maybe Lily will watch that.
Oh, it's so bright. We'll have to put her in the show notes. I mean, we should try and have her on the show. Would she come on our show? I don't know. It'd be fun.
I don't know.
And she's wearing yellow, which is yes for me because that's my favorite color. So, Lily Edwards, that's her real name, is Lily Edwards. She's Mopsy, the character. She and her husband, so they created this character together. When she was a child, Mopsy is the name Lily Edwards called her great grandmother. Oh, that's sweet. Yeah, so it looks like they've worked in TV and film in the past. They watched Blippi and they're like, I could do that. Which is, I say that all the time, but then I don't do that. I'll like, I see a lot of YouTubers and I'm like, I could totally do that. Like I could do that because I'm an educator and I know all the things. Yeah. I know what would make a good video. I know what would engage kids because I engage kids all day long. I'm like, listen to Miss Brittany. It's fun to learn, blah, blah, blah. But then like, I don't do the thing.
Yeah, for me, I have so many ideas, but then I'm like, but then I actually have to do the thing.
Yeah. Like
it takes work.
And the first time you do it, it's not very good. And then you're like, oh, I don't want to do this anymore.
Yeah. There's a lot of that. Yeah. We're all out here expecting perfection, like at the get-go, like, you know.
The first try. So it looks like, from me, just like skimming this article, it looked like he lost his job during the coronavirus pandemic, which is still happening. And then they decided to move to Los Angeles, and then they really just dove into this whole YouTube thing.
You lost your job, so you have less money, and you're gonna move to California?
Yeah, which isn't it really expensive to live in
Yeah.
California? Like that's what I so it seems like that's what they did, and they have kids, and
Oh,
so they take inspiration from their kids, and like they'll like see if their kids are engaged in the content, and if their kids
mhm.
like it, then they'll post it.
Cool.
So that's kind of fun. And they say
Yeah.
they don't want it to be just mindless entertainment, which I appreciate, because there's times, yes, I just want to be a vegetable and sit on the
Mhm.
couch and not think about anything. But for my kids, I do like to have a little bit of educational stuff sprinkled in there just to
Yeah.
make sure
Yeah. And
ears are
that's what I
still.
like about Blippi too, because I can definitely like Lily's learned so much. Like it's
Yeah.
crazy the things that she'll like say now, and I'm like, where'd you get that from?
Yeah. And I do like the songs that I have heard from Blippi. I do like his songs. They're kind of catchy,
Mm-hmm.
and I like those. Um,
I
they have a
mean, except
podcast.
I've heard all of them every single day
So
for the
you're
past,
over it.
so I'm over it. But it was very cute when that video I sent you, when there was like an actual excavator outside because they were doing
Yeah.
construction by my house, and Lily like she was like, oh, she was like, that's an excavator, I think. And I was like, it is.
She like knows the word, and like that's just so cool because they see it. Like it's cool to have technology where you can show them things they wouldn't normally get to see. But then when they do get to see it in real life, they're like, oh, I know what that is. I know what that is. They're like fangirling over
Yeah.
an excavator.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to check this girl out. So Mopsy, she
Mhm.
seems pretty cool. I don't know what her voice sounds like. I hope she doesn't do a voice. Maybe she does. I want to know, here's my big question. For all these people who do YouTube videos for children, how do you keep your energy level up? Because I had to do them,
Yeah.
like that's how I did distance learning, was I would make a video and then send it off to the parents. And I was only talking to the camera for maybe 20 or 30 minutes straight. And that would be a video. And then I'd make another one and then another one. But as soon as I'd be done talking to kindergarten, I would just like just die. And then I'm editing and I look like this and I'm just like click,
I
click,
asked
click.
Paul, I was like, do you think that Blippi, like immediately after filming, he just like takes his crew to like the bar? And then they're just like, hey, what up? Like,
Yeah, like he's got like his suspenders down and the hat's like in his back pocket.
yeah.
So this is before our time. What was his name? There was this clown on like PBS Kids, Bozo or something like that.
Mhm.
And my mother-in-law would watch it, and I think it was live from what I understand from the story. So she was this little kid, she's sitting there, she's watching Bozo the clown, and he's running around and like, hi kids, here's number 3, blah blah blah. And then he would say like, okay, bye, see you next week. And then like he cut it too early and the camera was still rolling and his whole face just like dropped.
Oh my
He's
God.
like, yeah. And then he
That's
goes,
terrifying.
that better keep the brats happy for another week. And like then after that they like didn't do the show anymore.
Oh my
And she
God.
was just like just shock, pure shock. And I'm like, yeah, that's exactly what happened. Well, I don't say brats, but that's what my face does as soon as I'm done
Yeah.
doing kindergarten. I'm just like, okay, my face is done. I'm done. I'm tired.
Oh my
So I
God,
wonder.
that's excellent. So now I wanna find this. I want to find it and I want to watch that because that's so funny.
And it must have been like creepy black and white, clown,
Oh,
1960s, 70s. I don't even know.
I hate clowns, but I'll watch that one just to see his face change. Like I think that's so funny. Like,
Yeah.
man.
So we learned a lot of things about Blippi.
Yeah, we learned
I
a
don't
lot
think
about
he'll be on our show after this, but
He's
maybe
gonna be like, I was thinking about contacting the Perfect Moms Club, but now that you guys talked about that video I made, never mind. Oh my
once he
God, can
wants
you
to
imagine?
if he wants to come on and like apologize again or something.
Oh my God,
That'd be so bad.
can you imagine if we get contacted by like Blippi's people and they're like,
Excuse me.
you need to take this down or like
Just
delete this episode. Like,
soften that a little bit.
yeah, can you like not be so angry at me, Lisa?
Oh, certainly you're not the only parent who's like, shut up.
I triggered like every mom just then. Like when I did that, they're probably all like, oh my God, not again. Well, before we leave you guys until next week, we had some exciting news to share. So Brittany and I are celebrating this month 1 year of the show.
It's our birthday. Woo!
Oh my God, we need cake.
I had ice cream before I came downstairs to record because I didn't have cake. And I was like,
Oh yeah,
I need something. I'm gonna get ice cream.
I'm gonna do something celebratory. All right, it's my turn. I have mug cakes in my pantry. I'll make one of those.
We should have party hats.
Yay!
Everyone, okay, that's our homework is to get party hats so we can wear hats. Yeah.
So next week we will have a special anniversary episode for you guys, and we will have party hats. So if you're watching this on YouTube, be ready for that.
Yeah. Also, you have to go get a party hat and wear it while you're watching.
Yeah. Even while you're listening, like, you're in the car and you're like going to work, and then you're at a stoplight and you're like, well, got to put on my party hat.
Yes.
Got to listen to the anniversary episode. I'm totally kidding.
No shame.
You don't have to do that.
Everyone get cake.
Yes.
Cake and hat.
Yes, this is us giving you guys permission to go out and buy a slice of cake or a whole cake. No judgment.
Get one of those cheesecakes with like all the flavors.
Oh yeah,
those are good. Yeah.